Act. This act is coming to a close in 2025. As in my submission to Parliament, you've seen that I'm a player within AGOA, within EPZ. We now have 138 enterprises within that, so that's a space I know very well because I'm one of them. We have concern about AGOA extension. We are watching closely what is happening within the United States. We are supposed to be replacing AGOA with a bilateral agreement which has been in negotiation. It is not clear as we speak about the direction that the Biden administration is taking on AGOA because there has been mixed signals whether AGOA is going to be extended, whether the Biden administration is still committed to the Trump administration's initiated bilateral agreement with Kenya. And this is a conversation which informally I've been having with the United States. It is pointing to two things. One, there's a likelihood that we are going to have a stopgap sort of agreement, what we are calling the Strategic Trade and Investment Partnership, STIP, with the United States, as we seek more clarity on the direction to take on the bilateral agreement. But on AGOA itself, we're going to have, if I'm approved by this House, a trade conference, meeting of African ministers later this year. And Kenya is going to push for a common position for Africa that we have to have AGOA extended. Like all agreements, they are also subject to local politics. So by that time, I think in the next 2-3 weeks, we are going to have the midterm elections in the US, something which I'll be watching very closely to see which direction the Congress takes. But irrespective of whatever happens, Africa and Kenya being on the front line is going to ask that we take a common African position, and that is that AGOA is not going anywhere. So we will be coming back to this House to seek support, even as we deal with the other legislatures within the African continent, and to also express strongly the desire of Kenyan people and the African people that this act is very useful. It has grown jobs. We are exporting quite a lot under AGOA. We have not even exploited the list of products and services that can be exported within AGOA. So short answer is whether we are going for bilateral or not bilateral, whether we are going for the short-term strategic initiative or not, it is my commitment and the commitment of President William Ruto to push within the African context that we are able to ring fence and protect AGOA. He has also asked another important question about the EPZ and the special economic zone. And I think another question has been asked about the cost of land for the EPZ. By the way, we don't have shortage of land for manufacturing. What we have is a lot of EPZ allocated in most of the counties that has not been developed. And I've had this discussion with the President, and we have agreed that we are going to fast track development of every idle space. Because of the political problems that our neighbors in Ethiopia went through, most of Ethiopia was suspended from AGOA. And so therefore, there's a lot of demand for industrial space within the EPZ. Sri Lanka had similar problems, which also lowered their exports, especially to key markets like the United States. So to be able to take advantage of this upsurge in demand, especially from the US and key markets like China and Europe, it is our desire that we are going to develop every available space. At the same breath, we have got two flagship, let me call them three. One is not very apparent. We have got a Dongo Kundu special economic zone in Kwale County, which it is a very firm instruction from the president that upon approval by this parliament, we have to make Dongo Kundu move from paper to practice, to take it off so that we can be able to create jobs. The Naivasha special economic zone as well. We are going to see a lot of activities in that area to take it off the ground. We have got investors who have come in with proposals. I think the immediate past government did flag off one of the major investment projects in Naivasha from Turkish investors, and other economic zones, special economic zones. Konza Development City, which doesn't appear like an economic zone, but actually is a special economic zone that, if I'm approved by this house, I am going to be working very hard around the clock to bring in global technology companies within the Konza Technopolis. Two new planned special economic zones. One is a Railway City Development Authority right here in Nairobi, adjacent to the railway, which we hope to be our masterpiece for new urbanization, and the Nairobi International Financial Center to bring together the world leading financial institutions. So these are the public special economic zones, but also our people and also foreign investors have trooped in with special private special economic zones. So far we have got around 13 special economic zones by private entities. Our agenda is to have an open door policy. I know a lot of people have been going out there saying, I have applied for my SEZ license, I did not get approval, I have the land, I have the money. It is inconceivable, Mr. Chair, how you can frustrate somebody who have their own land and they have more money. I'm still trying to grapple with that very, very confusing situation. And so therefore, as a summary, we are going to ensure that we expand our EPZ, and we are going to expand the special economic zones to use our public SEZs like Dongo Kundu, Railway City Developments, Nairobi Financial Center, and Naivasha, Konza, to be able to spur jobs and bring the much needed foreign exchange in this country. And as the Honorable Bayer has said, even within those EPZ and special economic zones, we are going to work with the stakeholders to ensure that we also protect the rights of workers, and actually do insist to the buyers of the products that come from EPZ and SEZ that we have to commit to fair labor practices and other ethical business behavior. Let me address the question by Honorable Mukami, which is very, very important, on the issue of, and I think also Honorable Murugala has asked us a related question. Is our manufacturing an urban affair? Is it a Nairobi affair? Is it a big city affair? And the answer is no. Even within our Kenya Kwanza manifesto, we have planned aggregation centers in every county. So I want to assure members that in every county, we are going to have an aggregation center where we can be able to help our dengue farmers and even our miraa farmers to aggregate their export, introduce refrigeration. Shortly after, if I am approved by this house, we are planning a pilot one, which was already in the works in Naivasha. But I am having this discussion with the Council of Governors to identify our competitive matrix for each county, because every county has got their unique competitiveness in terms of products, and we are going to ensure that not just for value addition, but from these centers we are going to do value addition, but also promote exports. It is my desire also to have a flagship mega manufacturing project in every county according to the unique needs of every county. Kenya, I am really surprised, Mr. Chair, by the demand by foreign manufacturers and also local manufacturers to set up